The next question in the series is distinguish between the gender equality, gender equity and women empowerment. Why it is important to take gender concerns into account in the program design and implementation. Here they are asking about three terms: gender equality, gender equity and women empowerment. These are the three terms they have been trying to ask, and they want you to differentiate and why do we need to take the gender roles in the program implementation and design. So you can start with the definitions of the gender equality, gender equity and women empowerment. When I try to go for the definitions, what is gender equality? Here it is equal treatment. You need to give equal treatment to both men and women. For example, I am Article 14 and 15, which has been mentioned in the Constitution. Obviously talks about equal treatment. Equal treatment in terms of what? In what terms? In terms of laws, policies and schemes. This is the equal treatment which gender equality talks about. When it comes to the gender equity, here we talk about fair treatment. Means equal should be treated equally, unequal should be treated unequally. That is called fair treatment, where fair treatment the women aim for. So here it is based on the circumstances. It is based on the circumstances and need. Like for example, recently we have gone for the Kolkata rape case, where we need to provide security in the hospitals. The Supreme Court has given a report that you need to provide security in the hospitals. That is nothing but gender equity. It does not provide security to men. It does not provide security to some other people. So that's where the security is a parameter only related to the women. That is where gender equity talks about. You need to give them equal fair treatment. Then comes, for example, the second thing, encouraging female candidates in the UPSC also, in the army also. This also be taken as an example when it comes to gender equity. Like we also have Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, which is related to exclusively for the women. There is nothing called Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao for men. That means you are giving more priority to the women in gender equity. Means a priority to the women. So this is about the gender equity. Then comes the women empowerment. Here you are trying to provide autonomy to women. Autonomy in what terms? You are trying to provide autonomy in social, economic and political spheres. Social, economic and political sphere, you are trying to give them the empowerment. You are trying to give them the power to make their own decisions. This is where women empowerment comes into picture. So this is women empowerment. Here it will try to address, the women empowerment try to address both the things. It tries to provide gender equality, it tries to provide gender equity also. So when you try to summarize the things, you can go for women empowerment is equal to gender equality plus gender equity both. Now the second part of the question, the need for accounting gender in program design and implementation. See why we need to promote gender in the program design and implementation. The first reason being for providing sustainable and inclusive society. See, for providing sustainable and inclusive society, we need to go for these sort of things. The program design, we need to go for the gender roles. Like for example, we can go for like Pradhan Mantri, Jan Dhan Yojana, where more than half of the accounts are being opened by women only. That is promoting the inclusivity in the women. And then the second thing is, here we need to promote, you need to reduce the existing inequalities. So reducing the inequalities. Reducing inequalities. For example, whenever there is a disaster, we don't provide the major relief materials to the women. We just provide them the food. We just provide them the medicines. We don't provide the sanitary napkins to them. That's where the gender equity comes in. That's where inequalities can be reduced. Then the third thing which we can do, why do we need it, is because of promotion of social capital. Where in the promotion of social capital, for example, we can go for paternity leaves. Maternity leaves you would have heard of. Paternity leaves is a gender equality term. It's not gender equity, it's gender equality term. For example, paternity leaves. Which is a thing which is going on in Japan. Then comes fourth one, where economic mobility of a woman can lead to promotion of the GDP also. So for the promotion of economic mobility, we need more gender related policies. Here you can quote the McKinsey study, where by 2025, if you can provide the equal amount of treatment to the women, by 2025, approximately 770 billion can be generated by India if you can provide the equal treatment to the women. That's what we can quote. Then we can also go for better health outcomes. Better health outcomes. Like we have Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana, which tries to provide the better health outcomes. Along with this, see, gender is the thing which we think of men and women only. Here, the sixth one which you can quote is the social justice. Gender is not only about men and women. Here, we can also provide separate rights to the LGBTQ community, where gender equality is not only for men and women, gender equality is for the LGBTQ community also. This sort of arguments you need to put on. Then when you try to conclude the things, here you can conclude with a 33% reservation that is being promoted to the women in the Gram Panchayats already. Now the 106th Constitutional Amendment Act is trying to bring it to the legislature's parliament as well. So 33% reservation is trying to provide the political justice, which can lead to the better policies, which are gender specific policies that can lead to social justice plus economic justice. This is how you can conclude these sort of answers when it comes to this question, the gender equity, gender equality, and the women empowerment question.